Hello everyone, I am Miss Priyanka Late, working as lecturer at Mula Rural Institute of Pharmacy Sone. In this presentation, I am going to discuss topic of Introductions to Management. We will discuss content, definitions of management and pharmaceutical management, level of management and functions of management. Firstly, we will discuss definitions of management. Management is a distinct process consisting of planning, organizing, activating, controlling all operations to determine and fulfill the objectives of organization. Management is the art and science of organizing and directing human efforts applied to control the forces and utilize the materials of nature for the benefits of man. Management is a science because it proves, predicts, defines, measures and utilizes knowledge. At the same, it is an art because it feels, guesses, describes, expresses, communicates and practices. It is also a profession because it requires skill and knowledge and the development of a positive mental attitude. Second definition, pharmaceutical management. When the principles and practices of management are applied to pharmaceutical industry and drug stores, it is known as pharmaceutical management. Next points, the level of management. There are three levels of management. First, top level management. Second, middle level management. And third, lower level management. In that first, top level management of company consists of board of directors and chief executive. Second, middle level management consists of departmental heads, branch manager. And third, lower level management includes supervisors, superintendent, sales and section officers. We will discuss one by one. First, top level management. Top level management of company consists of the board of directors and managing directors. Top management is ultimate source of authority which frame the policies for the enterprises. Functions of top level management. In that first, laying down the overall objectives and broad policies of the enterprises. Second, organizing the business into various departments and division. Third, appointing department managers. Fourth, issuing guidelines for heads of the department. Fifth, coordinating the work of different departments. Sixth, reviewing the work of department and taking steps to ensure achievement of objective. And 7, making plans for the long-term stability of the business. Second, middle level management. It generally consists of head of departments. They are responsible to the top management for the efficient functioning of their departments. In small enterprises, there is one layer of middleman, but in a big enterprises, there may be senior middle level manager and junior middle level managers. Second, lower level management. It is also known as supervisory management because it is directly concerned with the control of the performance of the operative employees. The level includes supervisors, foreman, superintendent, sales officers, accountant officers, etc. They issue orders and instructions and guide day-to-day activities. They also represent the grievance of the workers to the higher level management. Functions of lower level management. First, planning of day-to-day work. Second, assignment of jobs and issuing orders and instruction. Third, supervising and guiding workers. Fourth, maintaining close personal contacts with workers to ensure discipline and teamwork. Fifth, evaluating operating performance. And sixth, communicating the grievance and suggestions of workers to higher authorities. Next point, importance of management. There are 6 importance of management. In that, first, it helps in the optimum utilization of all types of resources to achieve the best possible result. Second, it helps to increase the proficiency in handling business. Third, it helps to reduce the cost of production and increase the output. Fourth, it helps to utilize the services of the talented persons which are employed in the organization to achieve the planned target. Fifth, it helps to make stable and progressive growth of the organization in the changing environment. Sixth, it helps to design new products by adapting new techniques so as to give maximum satisfaction to the consumers and the society. Next point, functions of management. There are 6 functions of management. First, planning. Second, organizing. Third, staffing. Fourth, directing. Fifth, controlling. And sixth, coordinating. We will discuss one by one. First, planning. Planning is an intellectual or mental exercise requiring imagination and judgment. Planning helps to do things in an ordinary manner. It increases economy and efficiency by minimizing random action. Planning helps in the proper utilization of resources. Planning aims at achieving the desired results. It involves forecasting of future problems and events and selecting an appropriate courses of action to handle the anticipated problems and events. For example, before starting a pharmaceutical industry, the following problems are anticipated. First, selection of a proper site. Second, items to be manufactured. Third, obtaining the required license from drug administration to manufacture the selected items. Fourth, arranging necessary finance for starting the business. Fifth, sale of goods manufactured by the factory. Hence, planning is the process of deciding in advance what to do, how to do, when to do it. It involves the selection of objectives, policies, procedures, and programs from among alternatives. Second, organizing. It is the one of the important functions of management. The term organization means a group of people contributing their efforts towards the attainment of certain common objective. It is to organize the enterprises by grouping similar activities together with a view to attain the planned objectives, defining the responsibilities of the people in the organization, delegating appropriate authority to them, discharge their respective responsibilities and establishing relationship to enable coordination of the individual efforts to fulfill the objectives of enterprises. For example, in order to start a pharmaceutical industry, satisfy the activities which will be involved in it, such as purchasing, production, quality control, stores, distributions, marketing, administration, and finance. In order to run the factory smoothly, full authority must be given to the purchase manager as regards the purchase of raw materials, interrelates the other activities like quality control, production, marketing, and finance department for proper coordination, so that the final batch will be manufactured during specified period in order to fulfill the objectives of the organization. The process of organizing involves the following steps. First, identify the activities necessary to achieve the objectives. Second, grouping the activities into manageable units. Third, assigning duties or tasks to appropriate individuals. Fourth, delegating necessary authority to individuals and fixing responsibilities for results. Fifth, defining authority, responsibility, relationships among individuals. Third, staffing. A right person should be selected for right types of job. The various activities such as selection, communication, participation, counseling, training, compensation, dismissal, etc. comes under it. Staffing consists of following activities. First, manpower planning, that is determining the number of and quality of employees required in an organization. Second, equipment selection and replacement. Third, training and development. Fourth, appraisal, promotion, transfer and employees remunerations, etc. For example, to run a syrup section of pharmaceutical factory, minimum of 4 persons are required. One for weighing of raw materials and mixing them in proper quantity in water to make a syrup. 2 persons are needed for filling the syrup in bottle and then sealing and labeling it. 1 person is needed for testing, that is to analyze the prepared syrup. An honest and hard-working worker should be given due to appreciation for his work. Suitable reward or compensation should be given. Next, directing. One of the plan are formulated, the organization structures is created and competent persons are appointed at various posts. The enterprise is ready to start work. The work actually begins under the directing functions. Directing involves issuing orders and instructions, motivating and leading subordinates, harmonizing organizational goals with interest of employees. The managers have the responsibility of guiding and supervising their subordinates in the following way. First, by issuing of orders and instructions. Second, by guiding and teaching the subordinates as regards the proper methods of work. Third, supervising the subordinates to ensure that their performance conforms to the laid down standards. It becomes responsibility of the management to motivate its subordinates to work and cooperate for the purpose of achieving the common objectives. Fifth, controlling. Controlling means the steps taken to ensure that the performance of the organization conforms to the plans. There should be an adequate control so that predetermined plan objectives are achieved. Strict control on the objectives of the subordinates may sometimes lead to loss of all initiatives and enthusiasm on the parts of workers. For examples, area managers of pharmaceutical house can achieve his sales target if he calls the meeting of medical representative under him once in a week to solve their problems and issue new instructions. But if he starts interfering with their day-to-day work, it will be difficult for him to achieve the fixed target, since the medical representative are likely to close or to lose all initiative and enthusiasm due to unnecessary interference in their works. 6. Coordinating. In the management of an organization, objectives are laid down which can ultimately be fulfilled only by coordination among its various departments. There must be conscious efforts on the part of the management to see that all activities are carried on by Experts and different departments contribute to the achievement of the objectives of the business. All others activities not essential to the main objectives must be discarded. It is important to ensure that the different departments work in coordination. It is essential that everybody in the organization understand the main objectives of the business and works their achievement in active cooperation with others. A well-coordinated enterprise must satisfy the following condition. First, each department or division should be precisely informed of its share in the common task. Second, each department should work in harmony with other departments. Third, the working schedule of various departments should be constantly attend to circumstances. The basic features of coordinations are as follows. In that first, it is a continuous process. Second, it is an orderly arrangement of group efforts. Third, its purpose is to secure unity of action towards common objectives. Fourth, coordination does not arise spontaneously. It has to be created through deliberate efforts. It consists of three elements. First, timing. Second, balancing. And third, integrating. In that first, timing means adjusting time schedule of different departments. Second, balancing means ensuring that enough of one thing's example machine is available to support the others, for example materials. Third, integrating means unifying objectives of the employees with those of the organization. And last, 6, coordination is the essence of management. Thank you.